So you get your few years of Dutch boy here, where you're really initiated into the realm of drum corps. After that '93 summer, where you decided in your mind, like, all right, I'm going to check out something new, and why was it Cadets?
Yeah, let me back up to 93.
Okay.
So a bunch of us wanted to go. I wanted to go to Cadets because we drummed together all summer, and we were already kind of broskies and whatnot. And so a buddy of mine from the bass line was talking me into going to Star. And I sort of caved. I was like, okay, we'll go to Star, whatever. And so there's so many could have should haves in 93. It's kind of crazy. I was at Berkeley, and they had this Berkeley Day of Percussion, and UMass Drumline was there. And I was out on the sidewalk with my Dutch boy jacket, just working it, being the man. And so this older guy comes up and stands sort of next to me. I was like, this is weird. This guy's in my bubble. And I kind of looked at him and okay, and strolled away this way. Turns out it was Tom Hannum.
Nice.
And if I just looked at him or said hi, if either one of us said hi, the connection probably would have been made, and I probably would have ended up marching quads at Star. They needed people. They ended up with 3 guys that year. And then
would that have been for the 93 summer?
Just about. So then the car broke down to go to Star of Indiana. And so it's like, all right, screw it. What I should have just, come on, I'm me. I do what I want to do. I should have just taken charge of my destiny, gone solo down to Cadets and done it right. So I went down to the second camp and I play, and there's 5 quad players who are all moved in already to the Tech's basement in New Jersey. And I didn't know. I was stupid. I came there with Flam Thing all worked out, but I didn't know the basic diddle thing. It's like, duh, you're not going to get that far if you don't know that. And so I was just playing on a pad the whole time. And it was after finals, and I was just burnt and just ready to go home. So Unks, I didn't even want to audition for Unks. But he's like, no, come on, let's do it. And so I was like, all right. And I went in there, and I played Santa Clara's 92 Shopping Spree and Santa Clara's 92 Threes. And Unks is sitting there at a desk, some teacher's desk with his feet up on it, just smiling and kind of like laughing. And he's like, I don't get why you don't want to march. And I was just in such a fog that I didn't say, it's like, Tom, you got 5 guys moved into the basement. You're like, I'm too late. Why are you? So, just being a young kid. And so I ended up back at Dutch Boy in 93. But that's one of those coulda, shoulda. And then in 94, I walked into the room, and Tom and I converged. I was like, hey, Bill, good to see you. Earlier, I walked in the room, and one of the quads starts jumping up and down. He's here. So it was like, finally, all right. Because after 93, it's like, oh, my gosh, 93 Cadets quads, that's where it's at. So there was no question. That was kind of the place to go, in my opinion, at that time to play quads.
Yeah, that show in that drum line were phenomenal. I think there's a lot of discussion back and forth with like 93 Star, 93 Cadets. Like, if you'd have told me either one of those corps won the Fred Sanford or either one of those corps won the championship, I'd be like, they deserved it. Yeah. I don't think it matters.
Yep.
Both were just so good. 93 Cabbies were good that summer too. But I like to go back and watch old school drum corps. But Mike's probably like, I have no clue what you're talking about.
I've seen Star show, and I've seen Cadets 93 show once each. I say
that
on here forever.
Cadets show to Tame the Perilous Skies. That's a good one too.
Well, yeah. I've said it on here many times. I was never that kid, even when I was younger, that would go learn a bunch of old licks. I watched like
me neither.
I watched mid 2000s Cadets lot videos because I wanted to march for Tom Unks because the whole Demond thing, and that was where I wanted to go. And all I did was watch Cadets videos and like, all right, how do I do this? What do I have to do to reach the promised land? And so even now, like Evan will show me old historic shows and like, that's really cool. But I probably never would have gone out of my way to go watch it without his influence. So it's been a good thing to open my eyes to more and kind of become less of a drumhead and appreciate outside of my little realm.
All right. So you were talking about Willie Higgins. I knew I'd heard the name before. I just texted like my high school instructor. I was like, dude, where have I heard this name? He was like, I heard that Willie Higgins used to record cassette tapes of himself playing through the show music and send it out to like the members in the line being like, all right, now when you play this phrase, this is kind of what I think about, and this is something to be on the lookout for. And I was like, dude, that is nuts. Like, I couldn't imagine that, like a tech sending me MP3 now, like playing through the whole show and being like, all right, so this is what you're going to watch out for. This is probably going to be a problem spot for everybody. This is what we want to think about when we get to that spot. That is a level of nuance that I can appreciate.
Yeah, he was great. If you weren't 5 minutes early to a rehearsal, you were late. And you're like, you might be on a bus home. You don't know. So, like, I told him I kind of did a little guest thing with Cadets Drumline this year, cyber style. And I was talking about, I am confident that I have no idea just how much I learned from Willie Higgins about just life skill and commitment. Yeah, really, really cool.
That's awesome. Dude, those types of people that just impact you in that way are unforgettable. I have like a list in my head going that I could, rattle off. But anyway, so you go to 94. Obviously, Tom's like, great to see you again. Quad member, vet. Dude, he's here. So you're in. You pretty much go through the audition, make it. Was there any point in that summer where you guys realized that, all right, this is probably a special group of dudes. Like we're gelling, we're vibing, like we're just playing some stuff that is really sick? Or did it just come together at the end, or was it that way all summer?
It started at the Thanksgiving camp.
Okay. So at the very beginning.
Yeah. So, when you just play clean and just things are clean, and then you play more clean stuff, by the time you get, it's like, because now I'm a professional musician playing drum set and whatnot, and we'll go, and sometimes I'm reading charts or I'm doing this, and you get people afterwards like, man, how long have you guys been playing together? Well, that was our first time doing it. Like, no way. It's like, well, if you actually have the skills and experience, then, if you have a bunch of good ingredients, you end up with something good.
Yeah.
And so, but that year, the section leader ended up bailing, so it was down to 3, and then we got a guy back, and then I had a hernia right after death camp and went home, got an operation. So my first show was like early July. So it was a very storied summer before finally all 4 are there again and things are firing.
They were firing, that's for sure. As anyone can witness in the 2 reaction videos we've done now, they were certainly firing, and not just you guys, but the whole battery ensemble.
Yeah, it was a good year, good bunch of folks.